and you're joining us for the Dork Table. I'm sitting in with Flash Man from way over yonder. What's up, brother?
Well, I'm not from way over yonder. I just temporarily landed here.
Well, you're coming
way over yonder. But what's up is Mary had a little vacation with the grandbabies, so she couldn't babysit me on the Dork Table today. So I came looking for help, and there you are.
You my brother man.
I got one topic on my mind today, and outside of that, you just have some fun fucking around. But I sent you a link on it. It's called drugwarrant.com, and it's written by a guy named Pete. I guess his name is Gither or Guther. It's not like I wrote it or anything, but I want to give it a little attention today on the table.
Yeah, and I've got a article or a wood press or whatever that I read a few years ago. I did a show on, and so a lot of the language will be wrong there. So I'll also talk some about that as far as the use of the word marijuana versus cannabis, and also to the fact of that being used as a legal word.
Are you taking any prescription medication?
I'm not. I've been off opiates for about, I think, 3 years now. I quit taking them.
I'm an excellent driver. I drive slow around the driveway.
Yeah, I used to take pills.
Used to? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Any fun in that? Was it everything you thought it would be there, sport?
Well, if I can do this without incriminating myself.
Nah, you can't. You're being recorded by NSA, FBI, TSA, BBC, and Stan down the road.
Hi, Stan.
He can see you, but you can't see him.
I haven't close.
You got a stalker out there. And where are you again? Arkansas?
Yeah, mostly naked in Arkansas.
Good Lord. Mostly. What, are you wearing shoes again?
I got my flip-flops on.
You got your sloppy shoes on.
What
do you got? Like 2 dead cats duct taped to your feet or something?
No, they're not dead.
Because you all live in some adverse poverty over in America. You know, where the land is large and the cops are larger.
I heard that he's wearing his Trump jockstrap as well. So
I got me some of those the Donald Trump memorial boxer shorts. You know, they're made out of wool to keep your ankles warm at the office.
Okay, so somehow I feel like I should change my name.
You should change something.
Yeah. I think I will.
Okay, anyway, why don't you go ahead and take off on your idea, and I'll sit here and I'll interrupt you when I get bored.
Okay, but you got to wait for a minute.
I got to wait. Oh, you haven't loaded. Oh, you've not loaded the pipe yet, huh?
Did you do a proper intro even? I mean, mention who y'all were and all that stuff?
Yeah, he did, but he didn't say hi to the crew in RLM yet like Mary does.
Okay, I will do that then. Hello, crew. On top, we're back on top. And the great and mighty Barman, one of Grimner's alter egos, as his heroesness. There's Beth Grim Dork. Kate, Trust No One, Beetle, Chalcedony, Circolo, Chloe, Flash Dork, Ivy Don himself and at work, Java Doctor 2, Paul Bunyan, and there's me with my new name, Vinny Dork, alias Chloe, Cowboy Tech, he's awesome, Juana Taco, and Hans Dietrich. Hi.
Oh, you know what? I realized something the other day, and somebody said I should mention this to Hans. Hans, if you're out there in internet land listening to me, Jesus said I'm his favorite.
I think he got.
It's a Jew thing, bro. You're not in the club You don't get it. That's all there is to it.
Can you chew a Jew?
It depends on how I feel at the time. Depends on who's asking the question.
Okay. So today we're asking the question is should marijuana be legal or should cannabis not be illegal? Do we need studies and confirmation? Welcome, One a Dork. We are the Dorkers. Their circle O is Circle Dork. Okay. We need y'all to change your nick over here if you want to be a part of the Dork crew. But anyway,
no. Because the whole idea behind this table was people that kept getting kicked out of Facebook for having different ideas, and a lot of my friends were like that, and they'd get timeouts from Facebook. So I started calling WT the Dork Table, where the cool kids didn't want to go.
Oh, awesome!
So there's no If you want to play along, that doesn't. It's a weird kind of state of mind I have on this. Is this whoever's had enough? Come on over here, and we'll probably fuck you up even more than you already are.
Hey, Norton, come over here. I want to talk to you, Norton.
Yeah. Hey, smell this, Norton. What does that smell like to you? I just took this out of Alice.
Alice.
Could be dinner. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, well.
So we interrupted your cannabis introduction there for something. I don't know, some reason, unbeknownst to me.
Today's program is entitled, What About the Weed?
Yeah. Well, boy, we got a bad deal on the weed. But here's Paul Hauser's in the RLM, so he can set us all straight on the truth about it. Because who knows better than Paul? Take it away, Vincenzo. And I'm taking this hit for you, bro.
Thanks, man. I need it. Welcome, Walter. I did couple joints last night in some whiskey, and I came in for balls, not balls to the walls, but some freakers ball, and I stuck around for a little while before I crawled up in bed and went to sleep. I missed Grammy yesterday. Well, I was out and about and gallivanting. And I left my roller over there, so I'm rolling by hand right now.
Oh, man. That must be a treat.
I'm using a Zippo.
Yeah, a Zippo.
Yeah. I've actually written music, and this is my new instrument. So it's debuting now for Real Liberty Media, listeners' pleasure. Here we go.
Well, I, too, have a document that has caught my fancy.
You're interrupting.
I know. You're talking again. I'm going to post it. Boom. Then I'm going to go into mute for a bit and play a game. So what are you posting a song about?
No, it's a song that I wrote with my Zippo. It's my new musical instrument.
No. We're not going to do that. You might be, but I ain't going to do that. What's that? How to entertain yourself when you ran out of weed?
I put the lighter down and stepped away.
Was it lit at the time? Okay, what's going on, boss?
That wasn't a weed cough. All right, so listen, why don't you start us out, Mr. Flash Dork?
Want me to? Well, I posted the thing that's got my attention on this, and it's called Drug War Rant. Spell it like warrant. So it's kind of interesting. And it says here, why is marijuana illegal? Many people assume that marijuana was made illegal through some kind of process involving scientific, medical, and government hearings. That it was to protect the citizens from what was determined to be a dangerous drug. The actual story shows a much different picture. Those who voted on the legal fate of this plant never had the facts, but were dependent on information supplied by those who had a specific agenda to deceive lawmakers. You'll see below, well, there's a chart and graphs and a lot of stuff here. And if you don't open it, you won't see anything below except probably what's on top of your desk. That the very first federal vote to prohibit marijuana was based entirely on a documented lie on the floor of the Senate. Okay. What do you got to say about that there, Vincenzo? Nothing, huh? Wow. Ain't you just full of shit today?
I was talking with my mute button on.
Okay. Well, I just got to the end of the second paragraph, and it was like spam. Because I'm always harping, if America, the politicians would apologize and admit that they've been lying ever since this whole fucking thing started, that would be at least a show of good faith I could, feel comfortable about. But all this bullshit with, recent discoveries indicate, my fucking ass. They knew it all along and lied.
Yes. Thank you, Harry Anslinger, also known as Harry Anslinger, Asslicker. That guy.
Asslinger, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you thanking him? Did he do a really good job or something?
Yeah, he kind of predates the DEA. They were running, people.
Oh, okay, I got you now.
Criminal life, yeah. So you need something else so you could kick Negroes and Mexicans.
Yeah, no, they got the Negroes. They took them out with cocaine. Well, that's cocaine will make those black fellas rape all the white women.
Yeah, that's what they say about the cannabis plant.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
let me jump over here.
Yes.
The lastmarijuanatrial.com. The federal definition of marijuana does not include cannabis indica. So, USCS Title 21-802 definitions 16. The term marijuana means all parts of the plant, cannabis sativa, whether growing or not, the seeds thereof, the resin extracted from any part of the plant, and every compound, manufacture, salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of such plant, its seeds or resin. Such term does not include the mature stalks of such plants. So how do you get from being illegal to legal at that point?
Some lawyer wants to make a few dollars is the beginning of that.
Fiber produced from such stalks, oil, or cake made from the seeds of such plant, any other compound, manufactured salt, derivative, mixture, preparation of such mature stalks except for the resin extracted thereof. Fiber, oil, or cake, or the sterilized seeds of such plant is incapable of germination. It's been there the whole time, the article continues. The federal definition of marijuana is only for cannabis sativa and not cannabis indica. The most common type, as far as I know, virtually everyone grows hybrids of cannabis indica, and it's very rare that someone grows a pure sativa strain. Chico was recently convicted of growing 111 marijuana plants, but they were all indica, 0 sativas. He's now facing a sentence of 25 years because of prior convictions. Do you not know that in the federal system, prior sentences, although completely served and 100% over with, must be served again, plus any new federal sentence? Does anyone out there know this horrible fact? Big-time criminals need small-time criminals to take the heat off them. Point that's the truth. The Green 14 are being prosecuted for growing, possessing, and conspiring to distribute 284 marijuana plants. I don't know exactly what strain they were, but it's more likely they were a strain of indica, not sativa. Time to find out exactly what the plants and evidence are. It's likely they are not marijuana, according to federal law. Can this be easy? All medical marijuana growers and dispensary owners and all other federal marijuana cases missing the central point. This fundamental definition of what is and what is not marijuana. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. All the best. Yeah. Love, Roger.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the end of that article.
Well, I lost you. You seem to be like going and wow. Okay.
Are you behind me on this?
Yeah, I understand that, but I didn't know it was so intricate that there's now not only is it the wording, but it's the plan itself that they've made lies about to deceive us with.
Well, that's a generality of what it is.
Right, but being able to prove it in legal terms and all that is one thing, but you still have enough people that are status minded that they're against it because the FDA will not get off the class 1. It's still a class 1. Turned it down again. DEA or the FDA?
Yeah. Fuck you, Obama.
Well, one of those EA fucking somethings. The ones that ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah, the ass-slingers.
Yeah, well, what the real truth behind the hemp thing in the first place is. I think that the cannabis plant was just a doorway to get to hemp.
Yeah.
How would they ever introduced oil if they hadn't done that?
I don't know.
There was a glut. See, there was a glut of oil, and they had to find a way to make it useful.
Oh, well, yeah.
So they made hemp illegal to do that.
Right. And that also has to do with prohibition and alcohol, too.
That came later. No. I'm talking about the original plan where right around the turn of the century, Roosevelt was the damn vice president, and he was real big in oil. And it's just coincidental that when he takes over, the things happen, people are shot and killed, and all of a sudden there's an opening for him to become the president in 1900, right? And that coincidentally it coincides with an oil boom. And then again, when his grandson is elected in 1930s, there is yet one more oil boom. And I just thought, well, there's coincidence for you.
Show. Hey, there's Balls. That's Belle. She's the Belle of the Balls.
Who? Belle? Ball?
Belle.
Belle's
Yeah,
balls?
Balls in the chat.
You can bring your balls to the chat?
Hey, I did it twice.
Really?
Yeah, I got 2 balls.
Oh, you got a collection going now, huh?
And she calls me the Little Horse. That's the LH right there.
Yeah, that.
OARSE.
Wow.
So shall I continue here with this?
I think you should. I think you should, sir.
Okay. The origin of the word marijuana by Ann Wilcox, written March the 6th of 2014. The word marijuana plays a controversial role in cannabis culture. Many well-known organizations, such as Oakland's Harborside Health Center, have publicly denounced the M word in favor of our favorite plant's Latinate name, cannabis. Even Salon Magazine, a major press outlet outside the cannabis industry, published the article, "Is the word marijuana racist?" Excellent. As mainstream culture becomes a little more herb-friendly, the terminology used by the industry is coming to center stage. Well, why exactly does the term marijuana cause so much debate? Even worse, why has the word gained publicity as a racist term? To save you from reading those lengthy history books and some boring academic articles, we've created this brief timeline to give you a lowdown on the marijuana's rise to popularity in the United States, better known as America. Here's what you need to know. The Mexican Revolution. I'll grab the link and I'll drop it over in the chat. So it starts out 1840 to 1900. I'll read a little bit. Prior to 1900, marijuana did not exist as a word in American culture. Rather, cannabis was used, most often in reference to medicines and remedies for common household ailments. Like 1900s, what have now become pharmaceutical giants, Bristol Myers Squibb, Eli Lilly, among others, used to include cannabis and cannabis extracts in their medicines. During this time, Americans, particularly elite Americans, were going through a hashish trend. glamorized by literary celebrities such as Alexander Dumas, experimenting with cannabis products became a fad among those wealthy enough to afford imported goods. 1910, we might be coming up to what you was talking about between the years 1910 and 20. 890,000 Mexicanos legally immigrated into the United States, seeking refuge from the wreckage of civil war. Though cannabis had been a part of U.S. history since the country's beginnings, the idea of smoking the plant recreationally was not as common as other forms of consumption. The idea of smoking cannabis entered mainstream American consciousness after the arrival of immigrants who brought the smoking habit with them. I would say probably they smoked the weed because it was more attainable than tobacco. Just a guess. 1913, the first bill criminalizing the cultivation of local weed was passed in California. The bill was a major push for the Board of Pharmacy as well as to regulate opiates and psychoactive pharmaceuticals, and seemingly did not stem from the reefer madness or radicalized understanding of marijuana that paved the way to full prohibition in the 1930s. On to the aftermath. The Great Depression had just hit the United States, and Americans were searching for something to blame due to the influx of Mexicans or immigrants, particularly in the South, and the rise of suggestive jazz music. Many white Americans began to treat cannabis, and arguably the blacks and Mexican immigrants who consumed it, as a foreign substance used to corrupt the minds and bodies of low-class individuals and make them right white women. I added that part. In the time just before the federal criminalization of the plant, 29 states independently banned the herb that became known as marijuana. Here is our favorite guy, Harry Anslinger. It would not be an overstatement to say that this dick was one of the primary individuals responsible for creating the stigma surrounding cannabis. I should have pulled up some information on this guy right here, telling you where he started out just wanting to be a dick. Anyway, so he was responsible for creating the stigma, and it was hired. It might give us information right near. Hired as the first director of the recently created Federal Bureau of Narcotics in 1930. Yes, Anslinger launched a vigilant campaign against cannabis that would hold steady for 3 decades. The 3 decades he remained in office. Very outspoken man, Anslinger used the recent development of the movie theater to spread the message that radicalized the plant for white audiences. In one documented incident, this dick testified before Congress explaining, marijuana is the most violence, causing drug. There you go. Let me try that again. Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. Most marijuana smokers are Negroes, Hispanic, freaking Filipinos, and entertainers. The satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana usage. In another statement, Anslinger articulated, reefer makes darkies think you're as good as white folks. The primary reason to outlaw marijuana is the effect on these degenerate races. In retrospect, Anslinger's efforts with the Bureau of Narcotics were the reason marijuana became a word known by Americans all over the country. When making public appearances and crafting propaganda films such as Reefer Madness, Anslinger specifically used the term marijuana when campaigning against the plant, added to the development of the herb's new foreign identity. Cannabis was no longer the plant substance found in medicine and consumed unanimously by Americans all over the country. Then, of course, onto the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, and that was the culmination of Anslinger's work in the first step to all-out prohibition. The bill federally criminalized the plant in every U.S. state in order to discourage the production of cannabis use. The Tax Act of 1937 placed a $1 tax on anyone who sold or cultivated the cannabis plant. On top of the tax itself, you couldn't even get the stamp, first of all. But on top of the tax itself, the bill mandated all individuals comply with certain enforcement provisions. Violation of the provisions would result in imprisonment and a fine of up to $2,000. The word marijuana is the most common name for cannabis in the United States today. Its history is deeply steeped in race, politics, and a complicated culture revolution. Some argue that using the word ignores the history of oppression against Mexican immigrants and African Americans, while others insist the term has now lost its prejudiced bite. Regardless of whether or not you decide to use the word yourself, it's impossible to deny the magnitude and racial implications of its introduction to the American lexicon. Thank you. That was the end of that.
Well done. Well, take a bow. It's interesting how they've got you conned at every level of that story. None of it is the true parts are the things that don't matter. And all the lies are the shit that you go, hey, fuck that. I don't want them near smoking that there shit. Yeah, well, it's set up for that response.
Well, you're part Mexican, so you're part of the problem, buddy.
Yeah, well, so what? Anyway, so being part of the problem means what? That I smoke it?
No, that you're a damn Mexican.
Yeah, well, you know, what they didn't talk about was that they used cannabis to get rid of hemp.
That's right. That's exactly.
Well, there you go. I realize that, but I mean, I don't think, you know, our good buddy that's always preaching at us about how hemp is evil, that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he will ever admit, even if you could prove it to him in a way that he couldn't deny, he would never be able to admit, I've been wrong all this time.
If I ever catch that sucker, I'm holding him down and blowing hits in his face.
Promise?
Yep.
I'm videotaping that shit, man. I want the video rights to that. Yeah. Be famous. I'll be famous like you, Vince. I won't be famous.
That was the
I don't.
Hearst thing, right?
Yes.
Hearst pushed the for the hemp because he didn't want it ruining his paper business.
Exactly. He had a whole lot of newspapers, and he had plenty of land that was fresh with trees to cut down. And they needed a reason to use that to make money instead of growing hemp, which puts them out of business.
And then there was also
and it's oil. Cheap, you know. Yeah.
The oil industry wasn't liking it.
Exactly. That's what I was mentioning about what was his freaking name? Roosevelt, the first one in 1900, because coincidentally, when he took control of the White House, there was a big oil glut. They had to find ways to make use of it.
By the way, thanks Grimner for the hairy ass liquor.
The fun stuff. Man.
Harry, that's Hairy.
Yeah. Why? Because he's fucking weird, I guess.
Why? Because we like you to be in our control.
Well. Anyway, what's your perspective on this particular topic, Grim? How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel like that, like I feel about everything. The government's got no right or reason to be involved in doing anything against people that are not causing harm to one another or somebody else's property, and they just need to get the fuck out of it.
Why? Yeah, why that doesn't translate better than... Yeah, I understood you completely, right? But I know from experience that I have plenty of relatives that would tell me how fucked up you are because, you know, you obviously are antisocial and you don't get it.
Well, I am antisocial, but that's got nothing to do with me getting it.
Well, right. But that's what I'm saying is there's so many of those kind of people, and I personally know them. I've had conversations with. And if you were to speak to them like you just did to us, they would complain about how you're crazy. You don't get it. You need to find Jesus.
Well, and to them, Jesus is the government. God is the government.
Yeah.
And any sacrilege towards the state is just appalling to them. So I understand that. I know lots of those people myself personally, and it's a hard barrier to break through because I mean you've been trained since the day you were born that this is the right way, that without this body, this imaginary body that is out there, there would be total chaos, which they call anarchy, which of course is a total bastardization of the word. Intentionally,
completely.
Intentionally, by the way, that was no mistake. Taking it where if you don't have them, then you have chaos and murder and dogs and cats sleeping together and all that nasty shit. I know. It's a horrid thing.
It's all George Bush's fault.
And they don't realize that government. What is government? It's nothing. It's a name. It's a brand. But all the without people, there's no government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a joint illusion. A shared joint illusion is what I call it.
Right.
Because that's what makes it real. If you truly believe in something, then it's real to you. Doesn't have to be real to me. That's got nothing. But the illusion that what you believe in governs me, that's the part I don't like.
And look at the people. Look at the people that get to be within the government. That the ones who actually, the part of the government you actually know about. They're a bunch of sociopaths and psychopaths, and people vote for them and say, "Yes, I want you to have the power to rule over me and tell me what to do and to do nasty things to me if I don't do exactly like you say." And somehow that's better than maybe an occasional robbery or murder, instead of them allowing them to do robbery as a matter of course. I mean, it's just the way it is, that you accept that you were going to be robbed of X amount of your pay and treasure, whatever it is that you've put together, because you need them. Now
it's amazing, isn't it?
It don't matter the fact that they're going like around the world and bombing the hell out of people of stuff that you would totally, most people, if they realized what was going on or took a look at what was really going on, they would say that you can't do that in my name. But they don't care. They don't care.
They don't want to know.
They don't want to know. They just say, well, I've got to pay X amount, and that's just the way it is. Weed. Look at
it doesn't matter. Hey, this is the Dork Table, pal. Everything's open.
Look at what's happened since 1971 when Nixon, Tricky Dick, put into place the war on drugs, and what's happened to all these people's friends and families, and many of them themselves. They've been totally screwed over, and by the very power that they think is there to bring peace and harmony to the world.
Yeah.
So what do I think of their shit? That's what I think of their shit.
I think we need Hans Dietrich to come on here because we just agree with each other. So I guess it sounds like well, they all agree. There's nothing to listen to here, folks. But
I'd like to take this point and disagree, and I like.
Of course, there you go.
That marijuana is a gateway drug. It leads to heroin and other terrible atrocities, including the raping of white women by Negroes. and I think That's because they can. They can't if they
Wow.
couldn't if they wouldn't smoke the weed.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, tell me all about it. If they wouldn't smoke the weed, what happens, Mr. Wizard?
They'd quit raping white women and they'd stay home
Huh?
and work and not come up here and live off of welfare.
Yeah, right. I'm sure a lot of people, that's what they wake up in the morning and they go, hey, I hope I can live off of welfare.
Well, it's not fair, I tell you.
No? Why not?
I live on less than $5,000 a year.
By choice.
Well,
I mean, it's not like anybody's holding a gun to you and shaking your pockets out.
yeah, they would.
No, well, they're doing that to you anyway. Well, you know what I mean. No, maybe you don't. I mean, you have the freedom to get up and go, I'm going to go drown myself in the river. Don't try to stop me.
They'd put me in prison for that, wouldn't they?
I don't know. You went off, packed up and took off and built a raft that didn't float and everything.
Well,
you were like the Noah of RLM. You were missing in action and everything.
No, I've been here.
Well, you've been back about, what, a month and a half. But when you went, that was...
Well, I'm back by popular demand, and I'm going to be an Astro Man for Cure today.
But see, I don't have the freedom to come and go like that anymore, pal.
Well,
So, yeah, I was free once, and now I'm not free.
I had not intended to come back so soon. I was planning
Yeah.
other things, but I really don't make plans.
You don't?
Well,
Well, maybe you should.
I see Vince, one of your acolytes there, Hans Dietrich. He's loving that cartoon character you're making up.
The truth about Kansas.
Yeah.
Hans is your best friend.
Yeah.
You know what Hans is going to say. That poor Hans. He should get stoned and let go of it all. Nah, can you imagine living in a mind like that, that if you don't have your tea at 4:30, the world explodes?
It's a
Never
terrible
mind.
No, it's
Well-
it's not your tea at 4:30. It's your THC at 4:20.
There
Well,
you
he says he doesn't smoke. No. He's one of those people that doesn't smoke or drink. You know, he's the life of the party.
you-
I don't know.
I'd like to ask Hans if you ever participated.
He's an RLM.
Plant. Yeah, he's over here in RLM.
But he just watches us spin because he's talking such nonsense.
Oh, he just loves the attention. That's all.
I think so.
He-
Yeah,
he
I
says-
would vote for him.
He says things
He
to
could
get
be-
the response, So
Well, then he's getting the response. But wow, I kind of feel sorry for the guy. You know, to be that close to being intelligent and have it all just wash away in a puff of smoke. What a shame.
Hey, you know what? I've smoked. I smoked pot the first time I was 9 years old. I've never done heroin. I had friends doing heroin. They'd never enticed me to do heroin.
Oh.
I was 13 when I started, or first time. I don't say when I started, because I was 13 when I first tried some, but it was a while before I got some again.
Whoa.
And I smoked weed with Mormons in Utah. That was my first weed smoking experience.
What?
The real world.
Crazy.
There is a world beyond LA.
Those
Yeah.
guys that are not supposed to do anything like that. Yeah, they're the biggest potheads out there.
Oh, like the religious people are? You know, the nastiest fucker in the whole one group is the one with the cleanest haircut. He's all, tidy looking and clean clothes and all that shit. And then he's the one that they go, hey, we had no idea he was raping the children. What was his name? Bind, torture, kill. That BTK killer. Oh, Lord.
In Kansas.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's always the politicians that are the most outspoken about whatever particular vice that are the ones that are actually living firmly within that vice.
John Gacy was good for that one, wasn't he?
He was just a clown.
Wow. Yeah, the guy had his damn picture taken with Mrs. What was his name? Carter, Mrs. Carter, the president's wife. He was a big muckety muck in the Democrat thing. Well, not like national, but in his area where he was living. So they had a pedophile rapist with dead bodies in his house in politics, and people aren't too awful concerned about that.
Well, yeah, you had a pedophile rapist with dead bodies in his house as president from 92 through 2000.
Clinton?
Yeah.
In his house, too? Like, wow, like Gacy. Wow. I would, at this point in what I've seen in life, why not? These people are just beyond, it's not believable how sick and corrupt they are. It's beyond explaining to another person. If somebody doesn't know, and trying to explain it to them isn't going to work out so well.
Well, here's another one from Hans. He says, hey, people who drink alcohol think everyone should drink alcohol, and when people smoke pot, they believe everybody should smoke pot, blah, 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 and fat.
No, when you think about it, what's the big deal about drinking? Who's buying?
Well,
no, it's
It goes like this, Hans. People should do whatever the hell they fucking please. As long as they ain't hurting nobody else, let them do what the hell they please. If they want to smoke pot, if they want to drink, if they want to stick their fingers in a goddamn light socket, that's up to them.
Live entertainment.
I'm just, anybody that wants to control what somebody else has to do, there's a problem with that person, not with the person that's trying to do it. So,
reach around when it comes. Reach arounds are optional, but just common courtesy. Okay.
Hey, as long as you got the consent there, It's
Wow. Yeah. If you're at the age of consent or soon will be, please send your emails to.
That's me.
There you go. We'll fill in the blank then. I just got the intro, man. I'm married. I'm finished. I don't do all that. I don't do all that fun stuff anymore, man. I slowed down, got married and such.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna hold my opinion about cannabis, and just try to understand why somebody would want to be on the side against this. What motivates that? That's pretty bizarre.
I would say evil.
Well, see, I don't believe in the duality at that level. So
I think people that are against the use of cannabis hate God.
Oh, well, that's kind of personal. I don't know. Isn't that a personal kind of the God thing?
Do you hate?
Or is
God?
that one of those? Is that one of those group things where the bigger the group is, the bigger the dick of the God?
Well, I don't know.
Because I can't bring a weapon to this fight. I don't want no part of it.
My message is clear. If you hate cannabis, you hate God.
Well, what if you? But see, that just brings up other ideas that are related in a kind of a left doorway, off to the side, but they are involved anyway.
Well, let's just look at it like this. If you have an idea or a notion of God, you would probably say that, well, maybe not, but God allows for free will, choice. What you will.
It's what you believe, right?
Well, belief is so.
But wait. Okay, well, let's just make it simple for me, so I don't have to find fancy words to explain my point. Okay. It's what you believe, right? What you're telling me is what you believe. Am I correct?
No, I'm just speaking to the obvious. A plant grows out of the ground. Okay, Nature, God, or whatever caused this plant.
Uh-huh.
right? So how do you come along and say you can't use that plant?
Hmm. Well, you open your mouth. First you think it, and then you say it, and then the idiot on the other side looking at the gun barrel says, okay. That's how that works. They
Now,
threaten and bully the fuck out of us.
I'm not very easily scared.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of old now, and I'm tired of the fucking fight. I don't even want to bother anyone. Fuck you. You're right. Leave me alone. There you go.
Yeah, I'm usually right.
Well, right, but I just don't even want to even bother with that. I just want to stay out of the whole damn thing. No
Well,
participation in that.
well, I have to give kudos to Hans some there, and
Why? What
you
did he say? What did he say right?
if you ignore it, it doesn't go away. They're in agreeing with how the system that's against us, we have to engage. So the idea of tearing it all down and revolution and bloodshed and billions of people dead, I certainly don't think is the answer. I don't think going out and killing cops is the answer. I don't think cops killing people they encounter. They're out there, and it's all been incremental. I mean, just in the last 100 years, look how far our belief system has changed, and what America is supposed to stand for has changed. So, it's hard to blame an idiot for being an idiot unless they continue to purposefully be that idiot.
Well, if they won't listen to the information that explains how things got the way they got, the way it really happened, not this TV version that we're all bought and sold, it would make a level playing field, but their prejudice will not allow them to listen to you. There's no way to argue or fight or reason or explain. There's no way. This is not going to happen in our lifetime. It's not designed that way. It's not designed to work. It's designed to do exactly what it does. Divide and conquer.
Well, I just think if everybody would just turn on, it would be all right.
Well, right, and it's such a cliche in the mind of a guy older than me, because we were around, and he was probably a teenager through it, and I was just 10 when it really slapped. In '69, everybody was like, "Wow, where'd this come from?" And then the peaceniks, there were so many of them, and they wanted out of Vietnam and this, that, and the other, that the government came up with the war on drugs to stop them, because it was getting too popular.
Sure, but there's a lot of argument for the what do you call that? The perception management and my mind's blanking. Socializing think the think of
The group think crap.
Yeah.
People love that stuff. They all want to agree. And I read this book, and I can see it to a point, and I've played it all my life too. I'm not immune to it, but it doesn't have the appeal to me now that it had 30 years ago. Maybe that's just circumstance. It's not like I planned any of this shit. It's just shit happened.
Well, the plant's been around for a real long time.
Yes. When's the earliest recording of hemp use? China or some shit like that?
Well, this
thousands of years ago.
7,000 to 8,000 years BC, according to this article. First woven fabric believed to be from hemp.
Okay.
But
what if the person argues with you about, well, it's just an article, it's not true? What do you do with a person like that, like Hans is? What do you do with that?
Research.
Well, here we go. You can find equal amounts of what you want. Whatever you want is out there.
Can you find something that says that cannabis was not a productive, useful plant?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got laws that say it's a class 1 fucking drug. Yeah, you can find plenty of crap that says that. That's the whole point. People will say anything for $1.
Well, making shit up ain't history. It is his story, I guess. But
Well, of course it's history. That's the way it works. The truth of it, it's
his story.
they're believe. You're right. So if you don't know you're believing in a lie. If you believe a lie, say that I lied to you about something, right? And you believed the truth that you think I told you, which was really a lie. That doesn't affect you. That affects you were told this by what you believed was a credible source. Turned out to be he was playing a game and made up a story. Well, that's how the society we live in works.
Very nice.
It's kind of frightening, man. These people are crazy.
Well, here's the whole story laid out. I mean,
The whole story from starting when?
yeah, a lot of it.
Tuesday or what?
Yeah. Tuesday, second Tuesday of last week.
That day. That was a long day.
Here's something I wrote back. When is the date? Do I have a date on this?
I don't know.
2013. Yeah.
Yes, you have a date on it.
Looks like September the 5th of 2013.
Ooh.
The cannabis plant has been used as fiber, food, and medicine for thousands of years. It's only since the last century that this plant's prohibition was fraudulently introduced upon the world, depriving each of us of our health, wealth, and happiness. See, now, here you'll find some wrong words as I continue. Hemp and marijuana come from the same plant. Well, marijuana is not the right word. Hemp is an industrial commercial use of the cannabis stalk and seeds for textile, foods, papers, body care products, detergents, plastics, and building material. Marijuana, or I shouldn't use that word, maybe I should say cannabis indica, but you can also get high on sativa, right? And there's another kind, and there's another kind. There's more types of the cannabis plant, but it's the flowers or the bud of the plant ingested for medical and recreational use. Sound of a J. It does, after all, get people high. THC triggers cannabinoid receptors in the brain, and this produces the sensation of being stoned, baby. These receptors are found in parts of the brain linked to pleasure, memory, concentration, and time perception. Excuse me a moment. Okay. Onward. Come on, what's the matter with you? Move. Marijuana does not pose a threat to the general public. Marijuana is very much a danger to the oil companies, alcohol, tobacco industries, and a large number of chemical corporations. Various big businesses with plenty of dollars and influence have suppressed the truth from the people. Okay? So truth is truth no matter what. It can be your truth, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is truth. The truth is marijuana was utilized for a vast array of commercial products. If it was, it would create an industrial atomic bomb. Entrepreneurs have been educated on the product potential of pot. The super rich have conspired to spread information about an extremely versatile plant that, if used properly, would ruin their companies. Background, 1919, the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution banned the manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcohol and positioned marijuana as an attractive alternative, leading to an increase in the use of the substance. 1933, the U.S. Congress repealed the 21st Amendment, ending alcohol prohibition. 4 years later, the prohibition of marijuana will be in full effect. 1936, the American propaganda film Reefer Madness was made to scare American youth away from using cannabis. 1937, U.S. Congress passed the Marijuana Tax Act. I'm going to skip and move faster here. 1941, cannabis is removed from the U.S. pharmacopoeia, and its medical use is no longer recognized in America. 1951, the Boggs Act and the Narcotics Control Act in the U.S. increases all drug penalties, laid down mandatory sentences. 1970, U.S. National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, NORML, forms. The same year, the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act repealed mandatory penalties for drug offenses, and marijuana was categorized separately from other narcotics. In 1972, the Nixon-appointed Schaefer Commission urged use of cannabis to be re-legalized, but the recommendation was ignored. U.S. medical research picks up pace. Proposition 19 in California to legalize marijuana use is rejected by a voter margin of 66 to 33%. 1976, the U.S. federal government created the investigational new drug comprehensive compassionate use research program to allow patients to receive up to 9 pounds of cannabis. 1977 to 81, U.S. President Carter, including his assistant for drug policy, Dr. Peter Bourne, pushed for decriminalization of marijuana, with the president himself asking Congress to abolish federal criminal penalties for those caught with less than 1 ounce of marijuana. 1986, President Reagan signs the Anti-Drug Abuse Act, reinstating mandatory minimums and raising federal penalties for possession and distribution, and officially begins the U.S. international war on drugs. 1996, California, the first U.S. state to ban marijuana use, see 1915, became the first U.S. state to re-legalize medical marijuana use for people suffering from AIDS, cancer, and other serious illnesses. A similar bill was passed in Arizona the same year. This was followed by the passage of similar initiatives in Alaska, Colorado, Maine, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, D.C., Hawaii, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, and Vermont. 1997, the American Office of National Drug Control Policy commissioned the Institute of Medicine to conduct a comprehensive study of the medical efficacy of cannabis therapeutics. The IOM concluded that cannabis is a safe and effective medicine. Patients should have access, and the government should expand avenues for research and drug development. The federal government completely ignored its findings and refused to act on its recommendations. 1997 to 2001, in direct contradiction to IOM recommendations, President Clinton, Mr. Dope Smuggler himself, continued the Reagan and Bush war on drugs era, began a campaign to arrest and prosecute medical cannabis patients and their providers in California and elsewhere. 1999, Hawaii and North Dakota unsuccessfully attempt to legalize hemp farming. The U.S. DEA reclassified dronabinol as a Schedule III drug, making the medication easier to prescribe, while marijuana itself continued to be listed Schedule I as having no accepted medical use. From 2001 to 2009, under President G.W. Bush, the U.S. federal government intensifies its war on drugs, targeting both patients and doctors across the state of California. In 2009, President Obama makes steps toward ending the very unsuccessful 20-year war on drugs initiated during the Reagan administration by stating that individual drug use is really a public health issue and should be treated as such. Under his guidance, the U.S. Department of Justice announced that federal prosecutors will no longer pursue medical marijuana users and distributors who comply with state laws. 2010 Proposition 19 to legalize marijuana in California is placed back on the ballot, named the Regulate, Control, and Tax Cannabis Act of 2010. Current voter polls suggest that the proposition is about 50% population support and will likely win or lose by a margin of only 2%. October 2010, just weeks before November 2002 California election on Proposition 19, Attorney General Eric Holder said federal authorities would continue to enforce U.S. laws that declare the drug is illegal, even if voters approve the initiative, stating, "We will vigorously enforce the Controlled Substance Act against those individuals and organizations that possess, manufacture, or distribute marijuana for recreational use." So the 10,000 World History of Hemp and Cannabis, Complete World History of Marijuana Use with embedded videos from around the web, you can find those at advancedholistichealth.org/history.html. So there is a marijuana timeline, and we've probably covered part of that. Domestic production of hemp encouraged in the 1600s to the 1890s. 1906, we get the Pure Food and Drug Act. 1900 to the 20s, Mexican immigrants introduced recreational use of marijuana leaf. In the 30s, fear of marijuana, creation of Federal Bureau of Narcotics, the 1932 Uniform State Narcotic Act, in 1936, Reefer Madness, 1937, Marijuana Tax Act, 1940s, Hemp for Victory, 1944, LaGuardia reports marijuana less dangerous, 51 to 56, stricter sentencing laws. In the 60s, marijuana's use popular in counterculture. 68, creation of Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs. 1970, repeal of most minimum sentences. 1986, Anti-Drug Abuse Act. 1996, medical use legalized in California. Why is marijuana illegal? Well, because Aslinger was an extremely ambitious man, and he recognized the Bureau of Narcotics as an amazing career opportunity. A new government agency with the opportunity to define both the problem and the solution. He immediately realized that opiates and cocaine wouldn't be enough to build this agency, so he latched onto the marijuana and started to work on making it illegal at the federal level. Aslinger also drew on the themes of racism and violence to draw national attention to the problem he wanted to create. And that was published date 1961. The Murderers, The Story of Narcotic Gangs, author Harry J. Aslinger. You can find more on that, hempology.org. Many articles about testimony by Harry J. Aslinger can be found at Cliff Schaefer's Drug Library, and you can find that druglibrary.org/Schaefer/Aslinger/index.htm. More links on Aslinger, csdp.org and ukcia.org. Pop culture, full text of the Marijuana Tax Act, passed in 1937. You can find that at druglibrary.org again. And so I've got a lot more here. I'm going to run down to the end. We might come back to if we need some filler. We got an hour yet, but I'm going to the end of this, and let me give my summation. There's a lot more history there. I'll drop the link here in just a few. To summarize, I'd like to say I agree with the federal government. Marijuana does victimize individuals, or should I say that the enforcement of arcane, unjust laws victimize individuals. Our states and our nation as well. Productive members of society are often victimized for mere possession, tainting their lives and their careers permanently. Valuable resources are diverted for the use of marijuana law enforcement. Revenue is lost from marijuana taxation. See that I don't agree now so much with a lot of things I've said here, legalization and taxation. Drug dealers are growing in riches, and those drug dealers are those people that occupy the highest seats of decision most times, and their underlings are these cartel members. But anyways, so drug dealers are growing in riches and power as long as they can profit from the sale of marijuana, often financing operations, including violence, intimidation, murder, and hard drugs. Big government is on steroidal growth and their power over the average American citizen. All rights to privacy are quickly evaporating. Soon George Orwell's imagined police state will be the norm. We've been in it, by the way. We're just about the individual's right to fair use of medicine, recreation, and relaxation. No, the issue is much bigger than this. We're talking about survival as a nation, survival as a free American citizen, enjoying the same opportunities as our ancestors. Government interference into our normal, everyday private lives is creating havoc. Our economy is collapsing. Government continues to act contrary to public opinion by meddling in foreign affairs that do not concern us. Adopt George Washington's opinion and refrain from such meddling. Political correctness has become a cancer, changing the core values of our society. Stress is mounting on the average citizen. There is mounting joblessness and hopelessness. Where's the vent? Violence or alcohol? Maybe. Marijuana, however, is a very viable alternative to the ever-increasing pressure placed upon us. It is therapy for the mind, soul, and body. It is peace. I choose no worries over the alternatives. I choose cannabis.
That was pretty good shit. I liked it.
Why not? I left a lot of the in middles out, but if anybody would care to peruse perhaps later, then here comes the link. You'll see it.
But if you disagree, then there you go. And that's what we got. Either you already know and you go with it, or you don't know and you stay stuck on the history. And the history is all a bunch of bullshit.
Well,
it's
I
disappointing.
think that I provided with links is sufficient for anybody that's critical. There's enough history there, whether it be complete or not, that it exists to say
But
you're off.
common sense should dictate a better response than the ones we get.
Yeah.
I mean, really, how does, here, let me ask you this. Does chemotherapy make sense to you, Vince?
Yes, if you want to die.
Okay, and you know that because what?
Well, a lot
What's
of
this? Okay, wait. But I mean, because I'm just a new guy on the street, blah, blah, blah. I don't know yet. So how are you going to explain to me that what the government tells me is a fix is actually the problem?
I would refer anybody to look up Ty Bollinger's Quest for the Cure. I don't like the word cure. I've learned to rethink a lot of things that I've said in the way I've stated it. But Ty Bollinger's, I think it's 11-part series. I did a summation on UCY on it. It's in audio. I'd have to go track it down, but I think that he brings enough voices together to cover all of the entirety of the cancer industry. Of course, cannabinoids, the oils have been proven to treat many things from cancer to reversing the effects that are ravaging the body with cannabis. Also, other plants. I mean, cannabis is not a magical plant, Hans. It's not.
Well, yeah, it is.
Well, it is, but
it is.
I just don't want to.
It's not the only one.
Right. There's a great
There's others. Yeah, right. That's the point. But this one is so it's universal in what you can use it for.
Very unique.
There's other plants that do certain things better, but not everything better.
I posted, Kira actually had posted a picture in a plant identification group on Facebook, and it's horse nettle, different from stinging nettle. But anyways, I actually I discovered it quite by accident. It has to be related, but according to the FDA, it's poisonous and noxious weed and so forth.
Well, why don't you take a look at the last thing Paul Bunyan said in the RLM chat and see what you think of that, because that came out of nowhere. Went, wow.
Not explain why design build is like it is, but it do. That one?
Mm-hmm.
Local agri extension money to see about hemp farming. Go Paul Bunyan.
Well, there you go. So, it's nice to know that we're not, at least on the RLM, we got just Hans that's lost in La La Land and everybody else is getting it. I feel bad for him, though. I mean, he's the black sheep.
Yeah.
Let's spray paint him like a rainbow.
Let me just further expound a little bit on this horse nettle plant.
I wanted to pick on Hans. Okay, go ahead.
some of it has some of them have yellow flowers and some of them have blue flowers. A real pretty little flower on a plant that has some hairy leaves. The spines underneath the leaves, that if they poke you, they sting you, right? So, anyways, I started using this plant because at the time I had confused it for stinging nettle, not realizing that there is a difference between the horse nettle and the stinging nettle. But anyways, so I started taking it because I'd heard stinging nettle is good for allergies. I used to take allergy pill every day without fail, and even that wasn't enough sometimes. I would go to the hospital, I guess maybe 3 times. My tongue would swell up. Don't know why. Some type of allergy. And without that pill, it was a certainty if I skipped one day. So anyways, I start using this horse nettle, eating small little leaves or the flower. And later I found out it's supposed to be a poisonous plant. Well, I hardly ever eat it now. I'm going to actually harvest a little bit just to put up for the winter. But take care, Paul. But since I've started using that, no more allergy pills. I mean, prescription allergy pills. No more allergy problems. No more my tongue swelling up.
No
more
using a natural answer.
Yeah. No more carrying a knife with me and a pen that I could give myself a tracheotomy if I needed to. Wow. This was suffocating would be a very...
Yeah, I understand that, yeah. It's just bizarre to me. Hey, I can laugh.
Right.
It's a free country, mister. I can laugh if I want to.
You can, and I enjoy your laughter.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, at everybody. There's room for everybody at this table.
Yeah, even Hans D.
Well, and I'm really being honest too. I'm not. I understand how he got his information. It's just sad that he holds that as though it had value in a time where it obviously was a bunch of bullshit.
It's unfortunate that that's what we face with most people in America. And when we go calling people idiots, they pretty much listen to anything we have to say to them after that.
I'm not calling him. Well, I didn't mean it like that. I feel that he's been lied to, and he doesn't believe he's been lied to. Therefore, the things that he believes that I call lies, he holds them dearly.
Well, I'm agreeing with you, and he is an idiot as well as you and me and everybody else. We're all idiots to some degree.
No, yeah, okay. You got me there. That's why I call this fucking thing the Dork Table anyway. But to be that isolated amongst this little group of RLMers, these are some hardcore people here.
Well,
and for Hans to be the only holdout, I think we're getting scammed. He likes to be the center of the talk, so we'll talk about him.
Yeah,
like I'm doing. Yeah, that's all he wants, a little attention.
And I really disagree with his last statement. He says he feels bad for anyone that must use any chemical to make themselves feel better, or food.
Like salt. Isn't salt a chemical?
Yeah, and it will make you feel better. Just go out a hot day without salt.
But I'm guessing, because I would assume it could be but I don't really know.
So last night I smoked weed and some alcohol, and you know what? I felt better. I have rheumatoid arthritis. If I could smoke a plant, and alcohol is very poisonous.
Well, you could eat it too. You don't have to smoke it.
I like to smoke it.
Well, you didn't say that part. I was broadening your horizon.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, what's wrong with feeling better? I've got rheumatoid arthritis. Plus, you see my hands.
Yeah, I know, but where's the fucking profit in that?
Right.
Wow, you would make a lousy capitalist. To amass a fortune, you have to be willing to fuck other people. And if you're not willing to fuck other people, you're not going to get a fortune.
Again, the word capitalist is not the correct word, but we're so.
It works for me. I don't care.
Yeah.
It is my word, man.
Yeah, we can use it in common vernacular, right? We can agree to
Well, that was the whole thing. We went through this. This is just my version of what I see. You see something different, that's cool. I'm not arguing that you don't have proof about what you say or all this other shit. I'm just doubting that you're sane if you believe it.
Right. And
See,
is the mineral, or is chemicals, compounds not make up minerals? Or am I wrong?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't. Well, we've got the internet right in front of us. You could crack a damn internet site and answer that in like a minute.
That's too easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, yeah.
Right.
And these poor people are, they're unarmed in a war against this government that's destroying their fucking life. A little bit here, a little bit there. It's like on a timeshare, and they're fighting to protect the fucking thing that's trying to choke them to death.
You know what I find to be the biggest problem is most people that accept the narrative are good people. They've played.
Oh yeah. I got two aunts like that. Yeah, wouldn't hurt a fly. They wouldn't steal. Blah 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 blah. But they believe that Hillary Clinton needs to be a woman president because they're what they know. They don't have the ability to see that any other way. It's bad.
I'm pretty unique in I guess the position I take for myself in society. I've said this before. I know everybody from criminals to cops and common folks in between. A couple of weeks ago now, I went into the pawn shop and I bought me a new Zippo. I'd lost mine. Anyway, so there's Wesley Potts. He's the chief investigator for Van Buren County. He's standing right there in the doorway when I walk in, looking up on the top shelf, reaching for something. I walk in, and my first instinct was to poke him in the belly. And I did. And he looked at me kind of funny. And
and you lived, you live in a small enough place that you live to talk about it.
Right, exactly. And I know personally. I mean, we fished together. Down at a buddy's, I was a designated driver one night to go to town, pick up smokes. I wasn't drinking that night. They were drinking beer and fishing. And, I know the sheriff of the county here by first name. The guy running against him, Lucas, he used to be a bootlegger. Now he's a deacon of a church. I do find problem with that. Scott Bradley, you have my endorsement for sheriff. And to be able to communicate with these people and not be this guy that's saying, let's go kill cops. Well, when I told Wesley the name of my next video that I'm going to shoot when I get pulled over with somebody is how to disarm and shoot a cop, you really ought to see the look on his face then.
Wow. See, well, I'm reading the RLM, and Hans is going all commando about this just nonsense. Yeah, he's having fun. Good, Hans. I hope you enjoy your day, because your morning looks like it's been a drag.
Well, I gotta ask you a question there, Flash.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. A few minutes back, you used the colloquialism. Wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah. Me?
Yeah. You said this person...
Oh, I'd kill a fly, but I wouldn't hurt one.
You said this person wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah.
Do you really
Who was I talking about?
I don't know, your aunt or somebody, I don't know.
No, it's really a kind way of saying that, she's an old woman and her day came and went.
I just can't imagine anybody that would not hurt a fly if that fly
No, I was being nice. See, I'm so bad at being nice, I can't even get one by you.
And by the way, Hans, water is a chemical.
Yeah. Is it?
Well, yeah, it's got a chemical compound there. It's H2O. Yeah.
Well, I think, then that salt would also be considered chemical.
Sure it is.
But table salt's very poisonous.
Well, it can be. I mean, like if you eat a pound of it or something, you're probably not going to wind up feeling that well.
Right. And it's the process of table salt. I use the ancient deposits of Himalayan with all the little nutrients and micro. I forget what they're called there.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Himalayan
stuff.
salt's great, and sea salt's pretty good. It's got the stuff in there you need. So
I don't trust sea salt today either for the pollution. But
yeah. Anyway,
But yeah,
I had to bring that up because I heard him throw that, pass that through, and was like, who doesn't hurt a fly? Who would not hurt a fly? Ain't no such person.
I was being
a while ago. You may have heard the SWAT on air.
I was being polite because my aunts are older than me.
Hey, it's 420 somewhere.
Hands, I do not take you out of context. You play both ends against the middle. Don't fuck with me like this. Keep your mouth shut if you got nothing good to say. Damn.
You better do your 420 report there. It's
About a minute. Yeah, thanks, Cameron.
Light them up if you got them.
Yeah.
But as far as taking them out of context, no, you take...
Buzz Beaver reminding you cannabis can.
Puff, puff, puff. But you take yourself, nobody takes you anywhere. But I figure you wanted me to be excited, so ta-da, you win. I got excited. Are you happy now? Now, can we go back to talking about marijuana and how marijuana is not cannabis, but
Joe,
if you vote, you probably don't know that.
My neighbor's dog stayed the night in my storage trailer over there, and my other neighbor's dog.
Arguments? No, there's no argument. Hans Dietrich tells me all the time that smoking pot is bad, and I do not agree. That's what argument is there? There is no argument. He's on one side of the fence, pissing on his feet, and I'm on the other side smoking a big fat doobie, not pissing on my feet.
I piss on my feet.
Well, to each his own. I'd choose not to. I'd rather smoke the big fat one. Fuck it.
Good for your feet. It's been a long decades ago. I found out about that.
Found out about what?
Yes, even.
Found out about what? What'd you find out? I want to know.
Piss on your feet.
Tell me. Quit stalling, boy. Get it out. Say something.
Piss on your feet. It prevents athlete's feet and cures it.
Are you wearing socks at the time when you use this exciting new invention?
Generally in the shower.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Walk around paying on my feet,
Well, the way you were telling it, anything was possible.
Exactly.
You do live in Arkansas, for fuck's sake.
Damn,
I mean, for all I know, you don't know what shoes are.
You know what really sucks? I'm really looking forward to cool weather.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm tired of the ticks and eaters and chiggers, but start wearing clothes and shoes again.
Yeah. Summer's over. Yeah.
And people come to my house and they'll catch me in my drawers all the time. Thanks for that link, sodium chloride.
That's why you got the blinking light out front that says, "Hey, stop by anytime," right?
That's right.
Advertising helps.
Yeah, I was telling my buddy, I think yesterday, man, this is going to suck. Cold weather sets in. I'm going to have to start wearing clothes again. He goes, we'll all be thankful.
What have you got not to be thankful about now?
I'm thankful for everything I got. I'm pretty easy to please.
Well, I'm glad there's things I don't have. Oy.
Yeah, like herpes?
No, like, what if I was insane and I thought there were 29 hours a day? And I created my own reality to support my 29-hour day, but you guys are way behind me because you're missing 5 hours somewhere.
I think you're insane to even think that.
Well, it comes from Mary and me, and you, Grimner, B. We're all talking at the same fucking time, but it's a different time wherever we're at relative to who we're talking to. And it's just weird. It's I didn't grow up like this. When I was growing up, this wasn't possible.
There you go, Flash. All you got to do is make your hours instead of 60 minutes be 49.65 minutes.
Yeah. Wow.
You get 29 hours
Cool. I don't know. Well, because I just go along with shit. I either believe it or I don't. And some shit, whether I believe it or not, sometimes it's just what you reference it to and how you prove it. I like to rock people and disagree with them to see what they'll say. My favorite one of all has got to be religion.
I don't have a lot of place for religion.
No, I know you don't. But
It's-
when you can rock those religious people, it's like not letting a salesman close his big deal. Big deal. You know, it's the same lightning.
Yeah. You know, I started out to really just kind of take a look at what it was I thought I believed in, and I've disproven some things, and I've also confirmed some things. I believe in God. I don't like the word Christian anymore, but I'd say I'm Christian.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So that's my understanding, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree with your understanding. Your understanding, the way you tell me, makes perfect sense. What I'm telling you back is, for me, I don't know. I can't decide. So I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying there's not. I'm just saying the jury in my mind is still fucking arguing about it, and they're not sure what to make of you people.
Yeah. Well,
You know, because that's what, that's the weird part about my life is kind of like depends on what the fuckers I'm looking at are doing. You know, if I'm like going to the grocery store and all of a sudden there's gunfire and police and shit like that, I'm not going to feel very good at that moment. So I kind of depend on the comfort of knowing that that is the most unlikely thing that's going to happen here.
yeah.
Right, but when I was living in the city, gunfights, people murdering their girlfriends and wives and shit, it was actually real. People actually did these things. And, oh, wow. No wonder America's insane.
Oh, Billy Fosco, he's a cop over in Conway now, I think. But he came out to my house one time when I lived over under the hill, and he says, I've got reports of gunfire out here.
Yeah.
Really? You came all the way out here 20 miles from town because somebody said somebody was shooting a gun? He said, did you hear anything? I said, I hear gunshots all the time, but it's kind of background noise to me. He goes,
Well, you know what? Wait. Paul Bunyan's talking about something. I want to interrupt you for this one. He says, yet drugs almost always do affect others. Not doing drugs does not affect others. That simple. But blah, blah, blah. And I understand exactly what you're saying, but my father did not do drugs, and he beat me like a dog. So no, people are just fucking people. And whether they do drugs or not, if they're doing shit that they shouldn't do, that drug thing is no excuse to do it. It's just a byproduct of it. And you've been taught by the government and school and all that to judge the crime and then balance out, were they taking drugs? Who gives a fuck if somebody chops somebody else up with a big machete? I'm not too concerned if he was smoking dope when he did it, one way or the other, because he did it.
Or if he was if he was white and the guy was
right. See,
or Jew or whatever. Hate crime. I mean, what?
Right, but we've been railroaded around looking at something with any kind of objectivity. They fry you in the news now. If you get now we've got internet and instant access. Who do you trust now? How do you know that shit that you're seeing wasn't made like a movie?
I trust me.
Ouch! Whoa, you're limited.
Well, I trust me, and in turn, I trust some people that I consider are reliable in the information, in their integrity, and their honesty.
Yeah. Do you think that Trump and Hilldawg are reliable?
Absolutely not.
I disagree with you. I know exactly what they're going to do. They are so reliable. They're going to fuck us in every hole that they can find. And that's what they do. That is what they do. That's their job.
Sad. It is very sad that those two people are the the selector's choice for people to vote on.
Yeah, yeah. The representation of the American public. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. It's like a marriage made in hell. How'd you like to fucking run into those two idiots at a bar some night?
I would love to. I would have a blast.
No, you'd probably get into a gunfight. Are you serious?
Man, I used to hate Bill Clinton, and then I dreamed I met him one time, and he was like, some guy, man. Oh, man, we would party like 1999.
Okay, Vince, there you go. Okay, well, see, your reality, that's what I mean. I find it difficult to justify in my mind that if I argue things that you say, maybe you're joking, maybe you really believe them. Wow, I don't know. Do I want to cross through that doorway and poke into your head and take a look? You know, like Hannibal Lecter, get inside your head, man, and start messing with all the wiring.
I really prefer Hillary's cankles to Donald's hair as president.
Okay, so what's the fucking difference? Monsanto's going to be making the fucking laws anyway. Who cares who's sitting in the White House?
That's right.
That's just a big performance for the public anyway.
Cankles are just sexy.
Well, the whole thing's just made up. It's just drama. Drama. Come on.
Oh, did you see? Who was we talking to? I think Java Doctor. I bet Michelle Obama's going to have a job with Monsanto when they leave office.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
they're all together. They're not on our side.
No, well, side. There shouldn't be a side.
Yeah, there should be a side of what's right.
Well, that's not. That's the whole point. You got to keep these people arguing and fighting about even how to do it, so it will never happen. That's how it works. We're so busy talking about how we're going to do it that we don't do it.
We keep our belief in this most position.
Well, unlike you, like when you said, well, I'm going to go build a thing, I'm going to go try to float it in the river. Well, whether you failed or not, as far as floating whatever you made to go, but you made it. You did it. You put it together. You went to the river. You had a river to do it. So that was way better than not doing it.
It was fun. It floated with me alone and nothing else. I'd have to resign and.
Well, right, but still,
I don't even count it as a failure. I just counted it as a
right. It wasn't a failure. It was just something that didn't go as planned. Wow, failure. Jeez, no. America is a failure, and they're trying to sell the rest of the people that are still speaking English this crap about great again. When were you fucking great in the first place?
Well, I'd like to kind of disagree with that some too. America is great, and the ideology of the American people is what we suppose America to stand for. Where we fail is we allow these other folks to go ahead and do in our name these evil atrocities. But the idea that America, back in World War II, Americans didn't know they were going over there fighting for the corporatocracy, right?
No, right.
We're going over to free people. These people that's gone to the Middle East, they think they're defending America's freedom. And you tell them, hey, you're a freaking murderer, man. Then not only are they going to disengage, if they don't disengage, you're going to engage you with a bit of violence of their own, right?
Well, I remember when I grew up, Vietnam was the big enemy, right? In the 1969, 1970 era, right in there. And then in 1975, I saw my first liquor store run by a Vietnamese. So it's all a big scam. This is bullshit. You're getting screwed. There is no enemy. It's all in your mind, the enemy. They are the enemy, whatever that is. It's not what we're told.
I wonder how many people have killed people driving from being too stoned.
Oh, wow. What? I don't know. What does the data tell you? Do your research.
Well, to that I say, figures lie and liars figure.
Oh, Yeah, well, but still, you still got the reality that you deal with to judge these things by, right?
Yeah.
So I would suppose the way Hans talks and the shit that he writes, and that gets his attention, always seems to be crime and drug addiction and, people that are living badly and violence. So there you go.
So I
And
wonder how he would feel if they illegalized Russian hookers.
he probably could care less one
No,
way or the other. No, but the interesting part is there's people that are even worse spoken than that we entertain. Oh, guess who was on the Freakers Ball last night?
well, I heard Moosey, Grimner,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Atrax.
yeah. Was that something or what?
Yeah, I like.
He's still alive.
He, like me, like you, and everybody else is fucked up in our own sort of way. Things have happened to him. Things have happened to each of us. It influences who we are and how we respond and deal with that. It's where we should probably start. I say love. They say there's opposites. Love, hate. I disagree. I think the opposite of love is nothing.
Apathy.
Nothing.
That
Without
would be
love, there is nothing.
an apathetic. Okay. No, I was asking you. You're the one that said it. So I'm asking you, and I guess not. Okay.
Well, ask your question.
Nothing. Well, I'm not sure what nothing is. To
Nothing.
be really right. I don't know. I have a disturbed value system because of the way that I live. I don't necessarily understand things the way that they're meant. Sometimes I make my own thing up.
I try to do that on a daily basis.
Like with the laws and, cops and all that shit.
That cop I shot that video not showing an ID to a state trooper. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's just doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing. But it's my place to engage him in the right way and say, look, this is where you're wrong, okay? And this is what you're doing. But if I'm doing it by cussing at him and spitting in his face, like that.
No, that doesn't work. No.
So,
you don't ever want to go through your wedding night again, do you?
I would do my wedding night again.
I was making a joke about. Never mind.
I would leave from there. Yeah, I'm following.
Wow. Shot my joke down.
Wait a minute. I'll try it again. No, I would never want to do it again.
Never in a million fucking years, Edith. I'm telling you, man.
See.
That was the good old days and shit. That period, that was my good old days, that era, the 70s. It was pretty weird.
I was supposed to be, so many of the racists go Archie, but they were really making fun of racists,
Yeah, he was, the actual Carroll O'Connor was more liberal than his character. So he was being a buffoon he was making fun of the guys that like that show. Yeah. But apparently they didn't really understand that side of it.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, he was mocking the conservatives, of which I was a product of the conservative movement. If you catch my drift.
I've had a constipated movement before.
Well, what I mean is my father was a capitalist, and I was supposed to take that road. But apparently I ran askew. Is
that why your daddy married a Jew? Yes.
I don't know. I have no idea what the attraction between my parents was. I wasn't around yet.
Do you think it was his smarts in thinking that if he would culminate his DNA with a Jew, that you could be that grand capitalist that he had hoped to be?
No, I don't think it had anything to do with that.
Well, let me ask you this. Can you pinch a nickel till the buffalo shits?
It depends on who's on the other side of the nickel.
Hmm.
And remember this, too. There's always a time to let go of shit.
I think, Chloe, wait. I think I don't fully understand that statement.
What?
I'm sure.
Just opinions, man. We each got our own opinion. There you go. That is how complicated this is. And some opinions are way out there, and other opinions are even further out there. And then there's reality, whatever the fuck that is, and we're all lied to about it. So it really doesn't matter what's real. What seems to matter is what you believe is real and how you're manipulated into taking action to support your belief in, say, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And there's a lot of people that go to those rallies and, pack themselves in like sardines and scream and yell.
Do you see that look on his face when he does that straight across smile? That it looks like he's really constipated and is in great pain.
It's very frightening to imagine that could possibly represent me as a POTUS.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I don't play that anymore. Yeah. Well, we'll find out what the results of my stand are someday, or we won't.
And just think, we'll only have about 6 months before they start the next presidential election cycle.
No, it's about a year and a half or so.
God.
2 years. No, in the first one, it'll be 2 years.
What the hell will we do without all this crap?
That's what you can't convince the average Joe does not realize, that people would still continue to provide electricity and clean water to live. We would have to. Can't just abandon shit because the currency stops. And they haven't evolved beyond that little kid with a cookie in their hand that's crushed it, and it's got, it's coming out from between their fingers, and they won't let go of that cookie. Whatever. I've been looking at that for a while. It's kind of sad. Yeah. There's plenty of cookies for everybody, but we're not taught that. We're taught there's only a few cookies. Don't kill each other.
Well, you know why there's only so many cookies is because we're busy blowing up cookie factories.
Right. Well, that's another con job. I mean, is everything in life today a con job?
Yeah, I'd say.
All of it. It sure seems to. It looks that way. Like, how do you collapse an illusion? I ask and ask and ask. It's all an illusion to me, but it's there, and I get the results of it. I mean, I'm not for it, and I'm not against it enough to do anything to stop it, but I try not to participate in it or fuel it. With my energy level in my existing being.
Yeah, withdraw where you can. I said on Dr.
Yeah, you got a simpler, easier way of saying it, Vincent. That's nice, and that's the whole point. We're gonna come at the same problem from two different ways and get to the same answer, but we'll say it two different ways. This is a tough business. This think for yourself shit. And not get all insulted and upset because me and Vinny don't agree about the world being flat. I'm gonna cry. I mean, say for example, I took a stand and it was flat. What the fuck does that have to do with you anyway? In the overall scheme of things, doesn't change life. Hey, Lou thinks that the world is flat. Oh, okay, whoop-de-fucking do. But I'll see people argue for like an hour on the internet over which one is right. And I can't figure out why it matters which one is right. Who gives a shit?
I think truthfully, what I think about the flat Earth is it's a set up argument for covering up the fact that NASA is a big old hoaxer.
Right. And see, there you go. And that's the problem of it, the complexity of this game that we are in, whether we're by choice or not. I would say everybody's held hostage, but they're held hostage in ways they think they want to be held in, when there's a way better way to do this than what we do.
Yeah, we've been screwed, blued, and tattooed for a very, very long time. And if people were truly engaged in voting,
Well,
they would say to their congressmen and senators to shut the lights off, lock the doors, and come on home.
I never felt screwed, blued, and tattooed until I left and got out of it and looked back. See, it's not the experience of being there that's, so negative. It's the results of the 5 years I haven't been there. And then I look at, wow, the 45 years before that, 50 years before that, whatever. It was, it's easier to read a book than it is to write one.
I'm still trying.
Because we've had all the answers explained to us. Why do they do this? Why does the bank fund both sides of the war and lie and not tell? And then you find this out years later, and here we are still fighting. And there's only a small, excuse me, there's only a small amount of people that are aware that this is bogus. There are really a lot of people that believe the stories they're told.
All right. Well, I was trying to look up this origin of screwed, blued, and tattooed, and I get Urban Dictionary, which.
Okay. Juana Taco says something about it, though. Everybody's easily indoctrinated. I agree with what he's saying, and to go against the grain it got horrible results. For the 5 or the 6 people that I get along with well enough to know them by their first name, there's other people that I don't even know that have big problems with my life on the internet. And wow, I don't get it. But it's, it gets my attention, but I don't understand the reasoning behind the action. Because if I disagree with something, like with Hans, I'll tell him, Hans, I think you're just winding me up and having a giggle. That's what I truly believe about Hans. But it's fun to play and, call him names. Hey, look at this shit he believes. Well, it's my perception of what he believes because of what I'm reading. So who gives a fuck? It's not like he's going to, bomb my house or anything. He's just writing some stupid words on a computer screen. I can get over that. Can you? Vincenzo, will you need deep therapy for years to come? After reading the word of the Hans man. No. No.
Who knows?
I don't know. Let's see.
I just had to go look up screwed, blued, and tattooed. I thought blued was in bluing a gun barrel. I guess blued is for shore leave in the Navy. Screwed, fornicate with a local hoorer or two. And tattooed, get some new ink to commence the occasion. So basically, your.
See, Hans is so far from being a free-thinking, artistic-minded human being. He's a statist. He wants everything in order and color in the lines. I love that part about it. I like to watch it. I don't like to do it. And I don't think that he should have the right to tell me how to live because he thinks it's a good way. I figure it like this. If he don't smoke hemp, the more hemp there is for me, I win. Cha-ching. How do I lose it?
I married a girl that didn't smoke weed.
Wow, you cheapskate. Wow. What will they think of next? But anyway, Hans is having his giggle. But who we got out here? Paul Bunyan is agreeing with him about something. Something's true. I'm skimming, so this will be really fun. You interrupt me when I fuck it all up, okay? Oh, when the power goes out, get on your bicycle generator and fix that in a few minutes. You'll be all right. I guarantee. So, what does it take to generate the internet? It takes electricity to tap into it to get it. What does it take to generate the internet?
You can create a local.
Wow.
Yeah. There's different ways of using your routers or modems and doing an interconnect. You need to pop up some antennas, but you could just through cooperation of peoples within communities, and then on to the next community, you could create a. Okay, one of Dork says the phrase is a naval term in origin. Cool. But yeah,
which word?
Screwed, blued, and tattooed.
Oh, naval.
Oh, Billy. So yeah, I mean, it's beyond my technical comprehension to explain, but it is possible. You could take a HughesNet and you could hack that, and you could stick to another receiver and then out through your routers and so forth, or modems, whatever it is. But there's a lot of stuff on the internet.
But I want to compete with you now, so that one of us can be right, and we will please our listening audience.
Okay.
Because they're talking about, all right, and I disagree with this whole concept in my own mind, but they're talking about Hans is right about this, or I agree with him about that, and I look at it like, if something is, whether I agree with it or not, doesn't matter, so I'll just not fucking bother. But
I will say then that I am very good looking, and I should be compensated for such.
And that's your opinion.
Yeah, well, prove me wrong.
Which you're entitled to your own opinion. That is what life is your opinion of life. There you go. And when your opinion of life pisses me off so bad that I want to lay you down and stab you in the forehead with a sharp object, then I would think at that point we would have problems.
Lay you down and softly whisper, put a lovebird in your ear.
No, I was talking about, going all ballistic over some stupid point of view or an opinion. And people do that too. They get all juicy. Oh, I hate Hillary Clinton. And then the girl gets all butthurt about it and starts crying, and you don't like women, and they bring in every other argument besides the truth, which is you're playing a losing game. Nobody wins in politics, you idiots. We all fucking end up being used by somebody. It's just some people get to wear better clothes through it than others.
Let me ask you this, Flash.
Go ahead.
Did you ever see Stephen Colbert's show when he was on Comedy Central?
I watch him on YouTube all the time out here.
No, I'm not talking about his show on whatever NBC or whatever the hell it's on now.
No, the one on Fox, right? From cable.
Whatever. Did you see the one that was on Comedy Central? That show that he did after the Jon Stewart show.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, in that show,
but I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so Stephen Colbert, he played a character that was this extreme right-wing guy. And everybody believed that Stephen Colbert, well, not everybody, some people got it. I certainly did. That he was just playing a character of being this extreme right-wing guy. But most people bought it, hook, line, and sinker, that he was this guy.
Okay.
That, in my view, is Hans Dietrich. He's playing a freaking character that everybody thinks that these things that he throws out there in the chat are what he really believes, but he's Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. Sometimes I like to get into the argument and play back. We're trying to get through 2 hours of, hey, what are these idiots going to talk about today? So, any left turn is kind of interesting here.
Okay.
Well, we started out talking about the legalization of marijuana, which is a bastardization of wording, and then we ended up here.
All right.
It's good. Hey, I appreciate this, man. You guys got me through the show, because usually Mary does it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you another question. You mentioned earlier that your father was this extreme capitalist, right?
Well, no. What I mean is he wasn't a successful capitalist, but he believed in that mentality. Yeah.
And you do not?
I try to avoid it.
Okay, so you don't believe that you should be able to use whatever it is that you do with your time, your labor, your property. You believe in property?
Not the way it's done.
No, I'm just asking if you believe in property.
Oh yeah, I mean in reality, the way I exist inside. I live indoors like other human beings.
So if you
I don't do is participate in the game.
If you work and you for somebody and they compensate you with some kind of goods or services,
right?
Is that proper to you?
Well, the way I was living, I would often do that. Trade goods for repairs on the property I was living on.
That's capitalism.
Right. I realize that. That's because that's what there is. I didn't want to go live in a commune. I was part of the free society. Yeah. There's a price to pay to walk the street at 4:00 in the morning.
That's all there is to capitalism, right there. People think.
Right. Well, it's deep.
People think that capitalism is what they're told it is, where it's corporatism.
No.
Yeah,
that's
but
law. Yeah.
So I was just wanting to straighten that out because I mean,
no, I realize that sometimes I sound like I don't live in the world you live in, and I haven't lived in that world. I just married Circle. I mean, that didn't put me in the world. I'm still not in the world. I'm not. I'm just watching it. It's like a TV show.
On your, did you go through the whatever governmental process to marry Circle?
I would assume so. We went through some kind of paperwork where I had to use my passport and whatnot, and put my John C. Weatherspoon down on the dotted line, and that's that. And we went through the ceremony. We've been together ever since.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I do these things socially for the acceptance of the public, but how I live my life, me and Cirque, we got ink and we were together. That was that. It's hard to explain.
You got tattoos?
Yeah, we got our names on the wrist, man. This was amazing. I never took to anybody so fast in my life.
Well, that's understandable. She's a cool gal.
She is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so all the social stuff, I do what I got to do. I don't choose to do it. If they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone back. I don't care. And if the paperwork expires, I'll fuck them. Let them figure it out and give them somebody a day or two's worth of work. You can't live forever, and you can't take shit with you when you go.
Yeah, well,
So I try to enjoy the life that I got now, and in simple ways that don't so much contribute to the beast that I don't like.
All right. Okay,
mostly
boys,
that central bank.
You're out of time, boys. So.
Well, thanks, Grim, for helping me this week. I appreciate it. And anybody out there that actually listened to us yakking about weed and whatnot, and a special fucking appreciation goes out to Hans Dork, because somebody has to put the fake dog shit on the carpet. Thanks, Hans.
I say, buscando marijuana. Fuck you, bitch. I'm out of here.
All right, that's it for the Dork Table. Peace, y'all.
That was fun. Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.